Hi guys, it's Miko Martinez, and in this video, we're going to go over the SEO strategies of Q4Quinn, particularly what they're doing well and what I think is holding them back in terms of SEO. If you don't know who I am a Shopify SEO expert. I've been doing SEO for over 6 years now, worked on over 200 plus projects, and I've helped scale some of them to over 7 figures in annual revenue from SEO alone. So let's get to the video. So Q4Quinn, if you look at their data on Ahrefs, you can see that they have somewhat improved their SEO in the last year or so, but they're kind of hitting a plateau, right? So they have invested in SEO. It looks like they have gained a bit of traffic, especially over the last year, and they're doing decently well. I'm assuming they're getting at least 20K in monthly revenue from these SEO efforts. But as we go through this deep dive, I'm going to point out what I think they do really well, because they must be doing something well to get results like this, and what I think is holding them back, right? Like, why have they plateaued, and basically what they can improve to further to scale this further, to double their traffic or even quadruple their traffic and revenue from SEO. Okay, so let's get to it. So we're going to use again our trusty 607 media playbook checklist. It's a short checklist on the most basic stuff that we check to make sure things are optimized for SEO, right? So this is the website. Let's go quickly through the technical SEO checklist. So internal product page links. Let's see if they have that fixed, because out of the box, Shopify is not, Shopify's product page links, specifically the ones on the product grid, are not optimized for SEO, right? So when you look at this, so they haven't fixed this, right? So the problem with this is that the product page, the product page URL is nested within the collection page. The problem with that is that depending on which collection you come from, the URL changes. If you look at the source of this page, you'll actually find that the original URL is just this URL. You see this? Without the collection part of the URL. Because you can see that this actually just has a canonical tag pointing to the original or the actual product page URL. So what you actually want to do to avoid these technical SEO issues with different URLs depending on which collection you come from, you want to remove this part of the URL from these product page links on the product grid. And the way to do that is just simply alter or change your theme to remove this part of the URL, because you want it to look like this, because again, this is the actual URL. You can find the canonical tag and you can see that this is the actual URL of this product page. That way you get a consistent internal link to the same product throughout the site, right? That's one thing you would change. Breadcrumbs. So they do have breadcrumbs, it seems. Yep. Yeah. So they have the breadcrumb working. That's good. Product and blog tags. Let's see if they have these tag pages indexed. Quick check on that. Yeah, so they have 138 tag pages indexed on these by the search engine. You wanna remove these tag pages from the index because they don't add any SEO value. They're usually just duplicate or thin content. Like, look at this page, has nothing on it. You want to remove these tag pages from the index. Again, you only want to serve valuable SEO optimized content to the search engine. You don't want to waste their time and resources crawling unnecessary pages. So you want to remove these pages from the index. Auto-generated collection pages. That would be a page like this. The all products product page. You want to see that's indexed because, again, this is just like unnecessary as well. Yeah, these are all unnecessary as well because, or even bestsellers, because these are not targeting any search term, right? So you also want to remove these from the index. You don't want to, every page on your site should be targeting a specific search term or query. If not, they don't really have any SEO value. They might be useful for users. Yeah, and you can keep these pages on your site. You just want to make sure that they are not on the index, so that the search engine doesn't crawl these unnecessary pages, right? So navigation and site structure. Let's go back to this, because this is actually where I think they can improve the most, and this is where I think this is the one issue I think that's really holding them back, right? Because if you look at the everything else, like the collection pages, the product pages, supporting blog content, link building, they actually do those things really well. The problem is you can do all of these things really well, and if you're getting one part of the puzzle wrong, it can actually hold you back, which you can see is happening for this e-commerce brand, right? So let's do the collection pages first, because I think they do collection pages really well. Let's go to this collection page. This collection page does really well. If you look at the rankings, this is ranking for a lot of stuff, right? It's even ranking for cotton ankle socks, and you can see kind of why, right? Because like you have a lot of ankle sock products, right? And that's why it's ranking for ankle socks, even though you don't have it on the H1, the URL, or the title tag. Anyway, let's go through how they build these collection pages. So H1 URL title, if you're trying to rank for cotton socks or 98% and 100% cotton socks, then that's exactly what you want on your H1 URL and title tag. So yeah, they probably rank for 100% cotton socks. Yep, 100% cotton socks. Yeah, there you go. Exactly. This is perfect, right? So if you want to rank for 100% cotton socks, you want that on your H1 URL and title tag, which they have done. Descriptions. So yeah, they have that short description on top, and they have the read more button that hides a lot of the other content, right? So what we prefer actually is to have the short description on top, and this longer description, we rather have that below the product grid, but this is fine as well. The goal here actually is to make sure that there's a lot more content on the collection pages, basically to give the search engine, to increase relevance and to give the search engine more context as to what the page is about, right? And they do that really well here, right? And they do that through that read more button. So they do that pretty well. So descriptions, product grid, the product grid is also really well done. They have the 5-star reviews. They have the name of the product. You can even see the options to check the different colors right on the product grid, rather than having to click through to each of the products and checking the colors. So that's really good, right? So this product grid is done really well. They even have the faceted navigation, which works, which is really useful for brands with a lot of SKUs, right? What they don't have that we would like to add is a frequently asked questions accordion, probably below the product grid, right? Like, what questions do your customers have about 100% cotton socks? Right? So let's try to just Google that and see what questions they might have. Like, can a sock be 100% cotton? Like, these are frequently asked questions that you might want to put on your collection page, right? Why is it hard to find? Should you avoid them, right? What makes 100% cotton socks different from other cotton socks? Questions like that, right? But other than that, like, this is a pretty well done, right? They even have internal links to other collections. Like, these probably would be sub collections, right? These are cotton socks for men and women. We have for kids here. Yeah, merino wool socks for toddlers. So they do a lot of things really well. So the collection pages, I think, are done pretty well. There's like a few minor improvements you can make, like adding the frequently asked questions, and maybe even like more clear subcategory links, like on top. Like, you can have subcategory links to the different subcategories of cotton socks, right? For children, for adults, for men, for women. That way they don't have to go look for it in the navigation or have to read through the description to find those internal links. If you have them easily available on top here, like, oh, for men, for women, for kids, for toddlers, etc., ankle socks, knee-high socks, things like that, knee-high cotton socks, things like that. That actually helps not just the user experience, but SEO as well, because the search engine does crawl these pages and finds these internal links and tries to, look at the relevance between these pages, right? So that's something, those are tiny things they can do to improve the collection pages. So product pages. So the thing about product pages is that for brands like this, you need to determine whether you even want to index the product pages, because you can argue that there is no search volume for, let's say, cool tones mid-weight ankle socks. If there's no search volume for this specific product, this does not have to be indexed. You don't have to index this product page. So you have to determine whether it's even worth it to index the product pages or not, right? But if you do decide that, okay, there is significant search volume, not significant, doesn't have to be significant, but if there is some search volume for cool tones mid-weight ankle socks, then you can determine, okay, maybe it's a good idea to index these product pages. But yeah, when I look at these product pages, they do it well. If this is the keyword you're trying to target, you want to have it in the H1. The URL is kind of not optimized for SEO, so you want to change that. And yeah, the same with the title tag. The title tag looks like it's done well. If you look at the descriptions, like they have a description here, they have features and benefits. So, looking at this, it's pretty clear that they have their shopping pages done really well. Collection pages are done well. The product pages are done well. Next, let's look at supporting blog content. Do they have any supporting blog content? When I look at this, they probably do have decent supporting blog content, right? If I look at the rankings and I look at pages, they have a lot of, supporting blog content ranking pretty well, right? Like types of underwear, they're ranking well for types of underwear, which is pretty good. That means that this piece of content is done really well. And yeah, looking at this, it's actually done really well, right? Like it's long, it has graphics, it's done very well. And that's exactly why they're ranking number 1 for this blog post, right? So, we can kind of like skip this, a lot of this, because we can assume and we can see that they've done quite well when it comes to the shopping pages. They've done well in terms of the blog content, even the link building. We can quickly go over the referring domains. They have, clearly done some active link building, and that goes to, the gist of this video, and the one thing I think is really holding them back, right? So if I go to their keyword rankings, right, and back to this, like navigation and site structure, that I think is what's holding them back the most. There's no clear navigation and site structure. Like you have, obviously, if you look at the navigation, it's done pretty well. Like you have baby socks, socks for children, socks here. This can be a little tricky, right? Because then you have socks for so many different subcategories, right? Like organic cotton socks for babies. You have organic cotton socks for toddlers or kids. You have adult socks, all right? And then you have organic, like unisex cotton socks for men and women. And yeah, like as a user, I'm already a little confused about where to find certain things and what the difference between each of these collection pages are. So it's kind of the same with the search engine. What I suggest, and even if I look at this page, right, like this collection page is ranking really well for, let's say, 100% cotton socks, right? But it's also ranking well for cotton ankle socks. And the reason it's ranking really well for cotton ankle socks is because it has the word ankle socks on the product grid, right? But if I'm searching for ankle socks and I land here, this is not a dedicated page for cotton ankle socks. Yes, it's ranking number 3, so that's pretty good. But as a user, when I'm typing ankle socks or cotton ankle socks on the search engine, I'm hoping to land on a dedicated cotton ankle socks collection page. So that can actually be a sub collection of this page. Again, so you want to create a dedicated ankle cotton socks or cotton ankle socks for that query. And you can kind of see that's kind of the similar situation with a lot of these keywords, right? Like cotton socks for women. You're ranking number 4 again for this 100% cotton socks collection page. And the reason for that is, like if I type women, like it's, here again, women, men and women. Like it's the site structure is a little bit all over the place, and that's what I strongly believe is preventing Q4Quinn from improving their traffic by a lot more, right? Like they're ranking really well, and this page is ranking really well for a lot of these queries, but the weak site structure, how it's not organized at all, how it's very confusing, is holding it back, right? Like if I was really looking for socks for women, I would not be able to find it, right? Okay, so I'm gonna go to adult. So where are the socks for women, right? Like you rank for women's cotton socks, but you need a dedicated collection page for women's cotton socks. There's not, and I can't find them here. I would assume that they're under adult, but I can only find women's underwear, right? And there's unisex cotton socks for men and women, but there's no dedicated cotton socks for women or women's cotton socks page anywhere, right? So that's the one thing I would change mainly. I think if you had a better site structure, if you created dedicated collection pages for these keywords, you would, Q4Quinn would rank for a lot more keywords. It would drive a lot more traffic, and not just like, any traffic, because they have like a lot of traffic to blog posts and informational pages, but those don't really drive revenue. You'd rank for way more of these collection or product category pages that will drive revenue, right? Like imagine you're ranking for, like Q4Quinn is ranking for cotton ankle socks, ranking number 3 for cotton ankle socks with their 100% cotton socks collection page. Imagine if they had a dedicated cotton ankle socks collection page, right? They would probably rank number 1, right? So that's, what I think is really holding them back, because they're doing everything else pretty well. Their shopping pages are done well. They have supporting blog content that's ranking really well, and they're also done really well, right? Like if you look at the content itself, like this is good content, and that's why it's ranking number 1. But the thing that's holding them back and holding them from ranking the product category pages, the pages that do drive revenue, is a really weak site structure, right? It's really disorganized. If me as a user cannot find certain pages, then the search engine is probably experiencing the same thing, right? So yeah, that's that's what I think. I hope you found this helpful. If you want more of these, let me know. I kind of do them once a week, every Friday. If you have any suggestions on which site I should do a deep dive on next, let me know. But yeah, that's it for now. Thanks for listening. Have a good one.